Hey guys, welcome back to the BuzWeaver channel. And in our top stories today from NBC News, FEMA official ignores judge's latest order, demands freeze on grant funding. Federal workers are being swept into the fight between Donald Trump and federal courts, with 4 FEMA aides fired Tuesday for being deep state activists. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. One of the big reasons why I support Donald Trump, and that is because he is going after the establishment uniparty and the deep state. But let's listen to what the MSNBC correspondents have to say.
You want to turn more to those legal rulings. We've got Laura Jarrett here, our senior legal correspondent. So let's talk about, I mean, the Trump administration may not like these legal rulings. They can certainly fight them in court. There's a lot of avenues to do that. They can't ignore them. What happens if they do?
Well, it's an open question how a judge might enforce a contempt order in that case. The judge in Rhode Island basically giving them a warning saying, I meant what I said when I told you to release those federal funds. Please follow my order. But the judge didn't mention what would happen if they don't do it anymore. And we should mention, while the president and the vice president are saying things like the courts don't have the authority, DOJ lawyers are not in court saying anything like that. They're saying, oh, our bad, we didn't realize the scope of the order. So there's a little bit of a space there between what's happening in practice and what's happening.
Yeah, because you see, when it comes to the left and the Democrats, they're able to utilize the legal system however they want to. And they can change their minds or have different opinions, but they will always go through the procedural process to try to stop someone because their attitude is, who is going to stop us? And when the establishment uniparty and the deep state was in control of our country, as we said here on the BuzWeaver channel, they controlled our culture. They controlled our institutions and our justice system. And their attitude was, who is going to stop us? Washington, a senior official at the Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA, instructed subordinates to freeze funding for a wide array of grant programs Monday, just hours after a federal judge ordered the Trump administration, for the second time, to stop such pauses. And we're going to talk about that in just a second here. In an email with the subject line, Urgent, Holds on Awards, Stacy Street, the director of agency Office Grant Administration, told her team to freeze funding for grant programs going back several years, including those focused on emergency preparedness, homeland security, firefighting, protecting churches from terrorism, and tribal security. And here's the amazing thing, right? I mean, without going into all of the nonsense of what's going on here, but the thing here is, as we always say here on the BuzWeaver channel, the Democrats do not hold themselves to the same standards they expect from everyone else. And here is something that Elon brought up the other day. This was amazing. The Supreme Court tried to block me from relieving student debt, but that didn't stop me. I've relieved student debt for over 5 million Americans. I'm going to keep going. And see, the rules don't apply to them. The rules don't apply to the Democrats. The rules are for thee, not for me. And so when these things happen, of course, they always want to make Donald Trump look like he's, again, the villain, right? That he's the bully, that he's the one who's trying to do these things in his own tyrannical way. Yet the Democrats never take one moment to look and reflect on what they themselves have done and why the American people voted for Donald Trump, because the American people weren't buying what the Democrats were selling, especially when it comes to things like this. Here's something else that Elon posted. Yes, that was a huge lie by the Biden administration. Funds were diverted from almost every part of federal government to maximize the number of illegals in America. There also appear to be significant funds siphoned from Social Security to pay for illegals. This is outrageous what they're finding. So from Western Lensman, left October 2024 is the election. As the election neared, 𝐀𝐦𝐚𝐳𝐨𝐧 𝐀𝐿 assured Americans that no FEMA funds were being diverted to illegals. Right, today, Elon exposes the FEMA still sending taxpayer dollars to illegals. Just last week, having $59 million to illegals for luxury hotels. And here's 𝐀𝐻𝐿𝐴.
So, disaster relief, this is a falsehood. Disaster relief funds used on immigrants illegally in the U.S. The fact is, no money is being diverted from response needs. That's the fact. So, disaster relief, this is a falsehood. Disaster relief funds...
So, basically what they're trying to do is they're trying to change the wording. They try to change the wording, and they try to redefine words and redefine terms, redefine phrasings, ultimately because they believe that when they are in power, they're able to do whatever it is that they want, and who dares stop them, because they're the government, right? And government is confidence. And if you have no trust and faith in the government and you don't believe what we say, then clearly you're a threat. You're a problem. And this is what we have seen for the last 4 years specifically. Very much enforced. If you spoke out against any of this nonsense that the Democrats were trying to push onto people, you would be canceled. You would be essentially investigated in many cases. Like we saw the parents there. The FBI were going after parents at PTA meetings. I mean, it's extraordinary. And grandmothers who showed up at the Capitol building hours after the events happened there, and they were arrested. So these individuals who keep talking about Donald Trump being a dictator, absolutely absurd considering everything that they have done. So obviously, it's I'm glad that the American people can see it. I'm glad you guys can see it. Of course, you can hit that like button if you agree with the fact that you can see it. And of course, leave your comments down below on the interesting changes that are continually happening, especially with DOGE. This has been amazing what they've been able to find. And I am looking forward to the press conference that either Elon or Donald Trump will have, and they go over all of this so the American people can see it, and the Democrats can flounder all they want to. They can send Maxine Waters out there. They can send out Elizabeth Warren. They can do all they want, and they're screaming and shouting. And, of course, the Raging Cajun out there, he's upset with the Democrats because they're making themselves look bad, and everyone can see it. And that's James Carville, by the way, James Carville. And, of course, he pointed out the same situation with Lindy Lee, who was the chair for the Democrat Party when it came to donations. And, of course, she's left, and she's still dealing with it. Now she's got people going after her, just like they go after Elon and just like they go after Donald Trump. It's absolutely extraordinary, but not unpredictable. But nonetheless, guys, of course, I welcome your comments down below on the changes that we are seeing so rapidly now. I think we're on day 21 of Donald Trump's administration. And, of course, getting a lot of pushback across all my social media from certain groups of individuals trying to defend, I guess they're trying to defend the absurdity of what was the Biden administration and them feigning outrage and disgust over tariffs and all these things. Is absolutely amazing to me. But nonetheless, guys, thank you for your continued support across New Tech. That's BitChute, Rumble, and Odyssey. And, of course, below this video, you can find the various social media links that I belong to include Twitter, or X, as you see here. So make sure you're following me there along with the others. I did start 2 new accounts on TikTok to see which of the 2. I have one that's strictly for gaming, and another one will be back to political commentary. So we'll see how much of an impact the administration has currently had on some of these social media platforms. So I'm looking forward to that. So if you have a TikTok account, you consider following me there. I won't add the links just yet, but nonetheless, I just want to let you guys know about it. But thank you, of course, for your continued support. And below the video, as I mentioned there, along with those, you can find the affiliate marketing links that I belong to there with Amazon. If you order frequently from Amazon or are a Prime member, you can use those links. It helps out the channel. And, of course, if you're interested in a VPN, a virtual private network to protect yourself while you're online, placing those orders and or getting tickets or other things in other cities at the local rate, which some people do apparently, get those flights and stuff like that from the local areas as they log into VPNs. But nonetheless, guys, thank you so much for your continued support. And appearing there on the screen, that would be the channel icon for all of you watching on YouTube specifically. You guys can click on that icon to subscribe, as well as to select notifications. That way you know when there's content here on the channel. And I'll see all you guys in the next video.